Listen, guys. I will be discussing assignment number 2. So tell me how to do the first problem. So how to do the first problem? See, wherever you see the power in the circuit is maximum, small r will be equal to capital R. So I will be equal to 16 divided by 2 plus 2. That will give you 4 ampere. Answer is 4 ampere. Okay. Second, the current in the given circuit is how much? So if I take these 2 points as A and B, and this as A dash B dash, so VAB is equal to VA dash B dash. So what is VAB? That is 6. VA dash B dash is 6 into I. Cancel it. I will be equal to 1 ampere. Okay. Third, how to calculate the current through the cell? Tell me how to do this problem. How to do the third one, guys?
Sir, can you show the question? Sir, so first in series, sorry, in parallel resistance, 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 equals what will be around
4 and 6 are not in
3
parallel.
by 4, sir.
They are not in parallel.
Sir, we need to calculate the resistances first, sir.
Okay, how much are the resistances?
Sir, we need to add 3 plus, since 4 and 2 are in parallel, we need to reciprocal them and add them with 3, sir. 3 plus
4
1
and
by
2 are
4
not
plus
in
1.
parallel. Repeat. 4 and 2, they are not in parallel.
Oh, okay. I took
Are
them
they
as parallel
parallel?
integration.
Current will get split. Current flowing here will be the same current flowing through this also. 4 and 2, they are not in parallel. So this will be 6. 6 and 3 are in parallel. So 6 into 3 by 6 plus 3 will give you 2. So 2 ohm resistor connected across 2 volt, answer will be 1 ampere. Okay, answer will be 1 ampere. 1 ampere will be the correct. That's it, 1 ampere. Wait, I made a mistake in the previous problem. They asked the total current I. Here the current is 1 ampere, here it is 2 ampere, so total will be 3 ampere. Fourth one, how to do? Guys, without wasting time, tell me. Shipra, you have mentioned that the answer is 3 ohm. Are you there? Shipra?
Yes, sir.
So how did you get that 3 ohm?
Sir, since it is between 2 points, I divided the 12, the resistance by 2, sir.
That's right. That's right.
I took it in parallel and then I found total resistance, sir.
Good. So this will be how much? This will be 6.
And the other half circle will be 6.
6 and 6 are in parallel. It will be 3 ohm. Correct. Fifth one. You go on mute.
E is directly proportional to J.
Sorry.
Option C,
This
sir.
one answer is E is directly proportional to C.
Yes, sir.
How? That is right, but how? How do you prove it? How do you know that it is proportional? What logic do you have? Okay. Sixth one. Two identical cells, when connected in series or in parallel, supply the same amount of current through an external resistance of 2 ohm. The internal resistance of each cell is how much? So this is how you solve this problem. When two cells are connected in series, they look like this. Their internal resistance are R and R. The external resistance is capital R. Okay. So the total EMF will be 2E, total resistance, internal resistance will be 2R, and the external resistance will be R. So I is equal to 2E divided by capital R plus 2R. Similarly, when they are connected in parallel, right, the equivalent EMF will still be E, and the current, so this will be the new network. So current through the circuit will be E divided by R by 2 plus capital R. So equate the first and the second, you will get the answer here. Okay, when you do that and solve, you will get 2 into small r by 2 plus capital R is equal to capital R plus 2R. So small r plus 2R is equal to R plus 2R. So what will you get? R will be equal to smaller. So internal resistance is how much? External resistance is 2 ohms. So internal resistance will also be 2 ohms. Seventh one, how to do? See, I hope that people who are sitting in this class have read the question already. Okay. The main reason I told that people who have solved the paper to sit in this class is I'm not going to explain everything in detail. You would have read the question, you get stuck. I'm there to help you. Or else, if you know all the answer, just verify whatever I'm writing is right or wrong. So I know the question. So I'm going to write the method directly observe. So R1 plus 10 divided by R2 is equal to 50 by 50. Okay, this is one. Similarly, R1 by R2 will be equal to 40 by 60. Okay, on solving this, wait a minute. On solving this, you will get R1 is equal to 20. Okay. Eighth one. The direction of conventional current is the direction in which the positive charges move. Okay. Ninth one. There is an electric bulb rated for 500 watts and 100 volts is using a circuit having 200 volt supply. The resistance R that must be put in series with the bulb so that the bulb draws 500 watts. So for this question, what we are supposed to do is first apply the formula. First find the resistance of the bulb. It comes out to be 20 ohm by using the formula V square by P. Then use the formula IB square into RB. That is, the power of the bulb is I square R. So IB square into RB will give you 500. Find the value of IB. Once you get IB, substitute V is equal to I into RB plus R. You will get the value of external resistance as 20 ohm. So this will be the required answer. Okay. 10th one. 10 identical wires, each having resistance of 1 ohm, are connected in parallel. The combination will have a resistance of 0.1. 11th. So there is an electron moving with a speed of 10 power 3 meters per second in magnetic field B at an angle 30 degrees. If E by M is 1.76 into 10 power 11, the radius of the circular path is R is equal to mv sin theta divided by qb. M by q is given 1.76 into 10 power 11. So V is 10 power 3 sin 30 degrees divided by 1.76 into 10 power 11 into B is 0.3. So when you solve this, we'll get the answer as 10 power minus 8 meter. Okay, so you can verify. If there is any doubt, please stop me. The resistance of an ideal voltmeter is infinity. A charge Q moves in a region where electric field and magnetic field both exist, and the force experienced is Q into E vector plus Q into V vector cross B vector, which is based on Lorentz force. 14th. Magnetic field intensity at the center of the coil of 50 turn, radius 0.05 meter, and carrying a current of 2 ampere. So magnetic field at center is B is equal to mu naught Ni divided by 2A. So mu naught, you know, N is 50, radius is 0.05, current is 2 ampere. On substituting all the values, you will get the answer as 1.26 into 10 power minus 4. Okay. 15th one. So there is a wire of length L which is bent in the form of a ring of a single loop, and the current is flown through it. The magnetic field at the center is B. So B will be equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi into R. Radius will be L divided by 2 pi. 2 pi and 2 pi will get cancelled. You will get mu naught I divided by L. I'm sorry, mu naught I divided 2 into L by 2 pi. So mu naught I pi divided by L is what you are going to get. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. Similarly, if you calculate B dash will be equal to 2 into mu naught into 2i divided by 2 into L divided by 4 pi. So this and this will get cancelled. So you will get 4 times mu naught I into pi the whole divided by L. So B dash will come out to be 4b. Okay. 16th one. Applying the formula F is equal to B into I into L. Okay. You will get the answer as 2 into mu naught into I divided by 3 pi. So this is the formula that we are supposed to use. Is there any doubt till now?
Sir, can you repeat the 15th one again?
See, I've written it. No, copy the steps.
Okay, sir. 1 minute. Sir.
You didn't solve this paper, no?
No, sir, I didn't actually get the answer.
Because you had exam, you told. Okay. You copy it, you try it, then you come to it.
Okay, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, done, sir.
Good. Okay. 17th one, what we are supposed to do is R is equal to MP divided by QB is the formula. So mass of proton, you take it as M. Mass of alpha particle will be 4 times M. Charge of proton, you take it as E. Charge of alpha particle will be 2 times E. By substituting all these values, you will get the final answer as 1:2. A proton alpha particle follow the same circular path in transverse magnetic field. Their kinetic energies are in the ratio of what? So R1 is equal to R2. So root of 2 M1 into K1 divided by QB will be equal to root of 2 M2 into K2 divided by QB. When you solve both the equations by substituting the same values again, MP is equal to M, M alpha is equal to 4M. Charge of proton is E, charge of alpha particle is going to be 2 times. You substitute all these values here, you will get the required answer. 19. If the resistance of the galvanometer is 6 ohm and it can measure a maximum current of 2 ampere, then the required shunt resistance converted into an ammeter reading up to 6 ampere is S is equal to Ig into capital G divided by I minus Ig. So Ig is 2 into 6 divided by I minus Ig, that is 6 minus 2. So this will go 2 times, answer will come out as 3. Okay, 20th one, there you can leave it. There is a mistake in the question. #21. Magnetic field interacts with moving charge. True. And not with stationary charge. True. A moving charge produces a magnetic field. True. So 21 option A. Both support each other. 22nd. Magnetic field is not associated with the stationary charge. Magnetic field can be detected by means of its effect on current carrying conductor. True. But here it is speaking about the current carrying conductor. Here it is speaking about a stationary charge. Both are right, but it is not the right explanation for, reason is not the right explanation for assertion. Okay. So 23rd. If the wire is stretched to make it 0.1% longer, its resistance will increase by. See, if the wire is made n times longer, then the resistance becomes n square times. That is a hint. Based on that, you solve. D. Kirchhoff's second law is based on law of conservation of energy. C. Dash is sensitive device to detect current. That is a galvanometer. D. SI unit of EMF is volt. Electric current is a scalar quantity. Force acting on a conductor. So for this one, apply the formula BIL sin theta. G. The magnetic force on a point charge is given by Q into V vector cross B vector. H. When a charged particle moves perpendicular to a magnetic field, then the speed of the particle will not change because it will move in a uniform circular motion. An electron is moving in a region of electric field and magnetic field. It will gain energy from electric field. If two wires carry currents in opposite direction, they repel. Next. For 24, resistivity is independent of the dimensions of material. It doesn't depend on the length or area of cross section. So it depends only on the nature and the temperature. As compared to short wires, long wires have more resistance because R is equal to rho L by A. R is directly proportional to length. As compared to thin wires, thick wires have less resistance because R is inversely proportional to E. The resistance of a wire depends on the cross-sectional area, length, wire's nature. So all of the above. A copper wire having the same size as steel wire have what? Please answer this. So you have a copper wire having the same size as a steel wire. So R is equal to rho into L by A. When they say same size, L and A are the same. So R is directly proportional to resistivity. So whichever is the material having lesser resistivity will have lesser resistance. You go check the table and textbook and then answer it. Okay. Next. So the Wheatstone bridge is an arrangement of four resistors R1, R2, R3, and R4. The null point condition is, you can look at this and tell R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4. This is the answer. So Wheatstone bridge is used for the precise measurement of what? It is used for the precise measurement of low resistance. Why are the connections between the resistors in Wheatstone bridge or meter bridge made of thick copper wires? To minimize the resistance.
Minimize resistance.
What? Yes. What happens if the galvanometer and cell are interchanged at the balance point? It will still be the same. There will be no deflection. So make a note. At the balance point, if you interchange the cell and the galvanometer, there is going to be no change. And the last question. In a meter bridge, the balance point is found to be at 39.5 from the end A. And when a resistor Y is of 12.5 ohm, determine the resistance X. So X divided by 39.5 is equal to Y divided by 61.5, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you saw, so X is how much? Y is 12.5, yeah. So 12.5. So on solving this, you will get the answer as 8.2. Okay, this part I'm leaving it to you. That is the end of this assignment. Is there any doubt that you guys have? That's it? No doubts?
Not for me, sir.
Okay. So paper, those who have submitted the papers at least, any doubt? You have no doubt while solving this paper? Okay, then we'll wind up. We'll wind up, guys. You can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.